What up, SFAM? It's your boy Drill Sergeant Lynch, back again with another motherfucking video. SFAM stand up, SFAM salute. Y'all stay focused and motivated. Get motivated up in this jank one time. SFAM. So, I gotta let y'all know, man. The drill sergeant leader job, if you want to call it, is a no-go for me at this time. Alright? And I'm gonna explain to y'all the reason why. So, I guess there's a process of going to become a drill sergeant leader from a drill sergeant. There's a couple things that is considered and that is looked at before a drill sergeant goes to become a drill sergeant leader. All right. So just a few things. I'm just hit on a few things, SFAM, to let y'all know what exactly I went through with this process and the reason why I'm not going to be becoming a drill sergeant leader at this time. All right. So I had to get my whole packet together, which was just, you know, different paperwork, my DA for Department of the Army photo, make sure I looked all nice and spiffy, get my awards up there. Just just a small packet that I had to get together. That packet was squared away in enough time. So if you ever go to become a drill sergeant leader from a drill sergeant, just make sure you got all your ducks lined up in a row and that you're ready to go. The interview process. The day that I had the interview, I had to take an ACFT that morning. It was weird because I had to take a APFT. I had to get a valid APFT within 30 days of my interview, if that's what you want to call it, or the board, right? It's just like a promotion board, but a little bit different. I took the APFT. I did pretty good on that. I took the ACFT. I didn't do as well as I should have on the ACFT. That's one thing that was considered. What was I think the standing power tie. I can't remember that exactly when they call it. When you take that 10-pound medicine ball and you got to throw it backwards over your head, up and over and behind you. So I didn't throw that as far as I should have to, you know, get a good enough score to qualify. I think I got like 67 points in that event there, which everything else was like 80 and 90 points. The leg tuck, the sprint drag carry, the hand release push-up, the 2-mile run, the maximum deadlift, all that other stuff that's in the ACFT, I did pretty good in that stuff, right? Now, the one thing I messed up was that power standing ball toss, whatever you call it. That was considered when I went to the board. After I did the ACFT, I went to go get a height and weight, which little old me, of course, I did good on my height and weight. The next thing I did after my height and weight was the actual board. It's just like a promotion board. If y'all don't know what a promotion board is, some of y'all that's watching, some of y'all that may be new coming into the Army. So when you go to become a sergeant and a staff sergeant, you'll go to what's called the promotion board. So you're gonna have to go in front of, you know, might be sergeant major, different first sergeants, different sergeants first class. You'll go in front of them and present yourself with your confidence and your Army knowledge on whatever they might ask you, whether it's, you know, real life situations, whether it's stuff to deal with your MOS, just different questions that you're gonna have to answer. I think I answered everything. I did a biography for them. I let them know chronologically what I've been through since I've joined the Army, including my wife and my daughters, because that's the one thing that they're gonna want to know, how being a drill sergeant leader is gonna affect your family. You're already stressed out enough. You already got enough dealing with the family when it comes to being a drill sergeant. So they also want to know, how is that going to affect your family? How's your family going to feel? Did you talk to your family about becoming a drill sergeant leader and having to move over to go to do that? So I explained to them all that stuff, which my wife is ecstatic. She wants to go because she thinks that it's going to be a good environment over there, and, you know, just the city and area in general. She feels like it's going to be good around post. For her, I know my family's closer to that coast over there and everything too. So I did that. They asked me other questions when I went to so when you go to be a drill sergeant leader, the board may be different from what I'm going through to what somebody else may go through. I know they didn't ask me to pitch anything, which I was told to be prepared. At first, I called up one of my battle buddies who's a drill sergeant leader right now, and I asked them what they went through at the board, and she said that she didn't have to pitch anything or any, you know, nothing like that. She just said, be careful talking about your personal stuff. I think she mentioned something about her pets, and, you know, with, you know, social media and stuff, don't mention any of that kind of stuff when you go. So I followed that, unless they asked me, then I was gonna definitely tell them about it. So we talked about that. We also talked about, oh, I didn't have to pitch anything. I didn't have to pitch anything at all when I went. So I was told after I spoke to my friend who's a drill sergeant leader to be ready to pitch one of the top 3 modules. I was just getting ready to do the hand salute, so I was already ready for that one, which I'm just glad I didn't have to, because it's nerve-wracking, man. Pitching these modules is nerve-wracking. They just asked me a bunch of questions, and I just answered them to the best of my knowledge. My main thing that I wanted them to know about was how passionate I was at being a drill sergeant, and I think that if I bring my passion to the United States Army Drill Sergeant Academy, he said it. Me bringing that passion and, you know, my standard of following the standards and stuff like that, I think that would have been good. Me bringing that to the academy. So answering these questions, whenever you go to any kind of board, SFAM, y'all gotta realize that it is all about confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. Even if you're answering the question with the wrong answer, be confident in that answer. At least act like you know what you're talking about. At least pretend. Is that the right answer? Yes, Sergeant Major. I know that's the right answer. Not to be too confident where you seem to be cocky, but just to be confident. Stand firm in what you're doing. I did everything, answered all the questions. I got done, waited for everybody else to get done. They called back in one by one, the sergeant major, the first sergeant, and the drill sergeant, the senior drill sergeant, senior drill sergeant was drill sergeant leader. They called in everybody one by one at the end who did not make the board, who didn't make it. I think it was a total of 3 of us, 2 or 3 of us that didn't make it out of all the 10 or 11 of us, right? So when I went back in there, they asked me how did I do. I told them that I felt like I probably could have been a little more confident, and I know that, like, my memory, I don't have a good memory. I have to go through things repetitiously in order for me to remember anything. I have good muscle memory, but just a few times of going over something, I'm not gonna freaking remember. So I know they also asked me in there who was my company commander and who was my first sergeant. And I had a brain fart. They asked me who was my company commander, and they asked me who was my senior drill sergeant. So it took me a quick second, which I should have known that right off the bat. But it took me a second, and I had to think about it, and then I answered the questions correctly. That's the kind of stuff that they look at. I seemed like I wasn't confident. Maybe I seemed like I didn't know the answer to those questions. When they asked me the company commander, I said my first sergeant's name first. And then it's crazy because I know my company commander's first name, but I couldn't think of her last name while I was there. It's all about confidence and not being nervous. I know who my freaking company commander is. I just didn't say the name right away. I had to think about it for a second. So they saw my confidence. I told them that I could have been a little more confident. I told them that, you know, probably my mind, my memory might have been an issue in the board. And all of them across the board agreed. All of them across the board agreed that my confidence just wasn't there. They said that they just didn't feel it. Of being a drill sergeant leader, and they're absolutely right about this when they told me this, the sergeant major, the first sergeant, the senior drill sergeant, that confidence has to be, you have to know, you have to feel it. And I really believe that they just felt that with my lack of confidence in there, that I really didn't want it that bad. And it makes perfect sense for them to tell me no because of my confidence. Because if they send me out there, Sergeant Major said this, I would rather bring you to the academy knowing that you're gonna do well, than to bring you to the academy not knowing that you're gonna do that well and your confidence isn't there. Then we gotta turn around and fix stuff just to get you actually squared away because you're already there. It makes perfect sense. I'm not mad at all. So it was my confidence. They all said I didn't do anything wrong in that board. I did everything right. I didn't do anything wrong. They didn't say I did everything right. They said I didn't do anything wrong. It's just that my confidence wasn't out there. That's basically it. And then another thing they said, so y'all gotta realize I have been on the trail for over a year. At this time, I'm not a senior drill sergeant in my company. There's drill sergeants who've gotten to the company after me, after I've been there. They have less time on the trail than I do, and they are senior drill sergeants. It's not that I'm a failure or nothing like that. I think maybe I just need a little bit more development before becoming a senior drill sergeant. And it's just me. The way my mind works, the way that I react to, stressful situations, even as a drill sergeant, and trainees may not see it, but there's times that drill sergeants are stressed out. They're freaking nervous, but we may not show it. Maybe you just don't know at the time. But, we do get stressed out and nervous. We're just good at not showing it. We're good at being confident, even in the middle of our nervousness. So I think with that, and the fact that my leaders, they know that's the way that I am. I don't know. I don't know exactly what to say about it. I do have one of my battle buddy drill sergeants who said that I've been there long enough. I should be given that position, point blank, period. This is just what he said. There should be no way that drill sergeants come in after me and they are senior drill sergeants before me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to agree or disagree. I hear what he's saying, and I can totally understand where he's coming from. I will say that. But SFAM, these are the reasons why I didn't make it. My confidence wasn't there. Not yet a senior drill sergeant at my company level. And I think basically that's it. You have to show that you're confident. Even at a regular position, a normal position, a junior leader's position, just a leader's position, whether you're a sergeant first class, not even a drill sergeant, you got to show that confidence, man. You got to show that confidence. SFAM, I'm not going to hold y'all. I know I've been jibber jabbering. I'm not going to edit this video. I know there's a few parts where I, have a little bit of space where I pause, whatever. But I just want to give it to y'all how it is and let y'all know straight up the reason why I didn't make it as drill sergeant leader. I'm not down the dumps about it. It's just a learning experience. If I go to this next board, now I know how to approach it. Another thing I want to say before I go is I've never been in front of any of these NCOs before. I've never seen them before, so I think that has something to do with my nervousness and confidence too. But anyway, SFAM, I just want to give y'all that much. I know I haven't done a lot of videos on this page. I'm trying to keep up with this page as much as possible. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave y'all hanging. I promise y'all, SFAM. Y'all can take my word on that. Y'all got it? All right, it's your boy, Drill Sergeant Lynch. Just want to let y'all know, Drill Sergeant Leader not right now made for me, but it could be in the near future, SFAM. SFAM, stand up, stay focused and motivated. Get motivated up in this jank one time. Thank y'all for checking me out. Deuces. I'm going to holler at y'all.